Hey everybody, this is Laura Lehman with the 3-minute rundown for Hume 110 for the week following spring break. First day, we're going to be talking about Du Bois and the spirituals. One of the things that you'll notice is that this is a return to Du Bois, but it's really thinking about how his notion of spirituals in conversation with that of other writers from this time period are laying the groundwork for the ideology behind the Harlem Renaissance, but also the notion of what constitutes an African American tradition, where does it come from, and what is an authentic voice. So this is something that probably came across in your readings when you were doing the Mexico section. Particularly it came up in my conference with the muralists. So I really hope that people will pay attention to Mark's lecture and hold on to what he's talking about as the difference of opinions and the different ways that spirituals are being used. The other thing that people may find helpful, and I'll link it at the end, is the 4 parts of the academic argument. I'll put a handout link in the description below. As you're listening to Mark and Margot's lectures, try and pay attention to what are the 4 parts of the academic argument that they're going to be using. The second day for this week is the readings that are associated as a place itself. And how did this notion of Harlem come about? The person that we're going to be reading is from a brand new book by Saidiya Hartman. Saidiya Hartman is an incredibly influential African-American scholar. She works at Columbia. She's really known for what's called archive theory. She's interested in how do I find voices and represent people in histories when they either didn't write texts or their texts were deemed not worthy of being preserved in archives. So in this book, she's really trying to think innovatively about the way that she's writing history and how history writing changes when you want to look at women who were deemed not elegant, not proper during the time period, as well as non-binary people. So back to that discussion with my lecture with Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz about what does it mean to look at non-binary or queer peoples in the past and to think about, is this anachronistic? What am I looking for as the kinds of evidence? The third day is going to be readings that are pairing up between Du Bois and Marcus Garvey. So this is back to that debate I talked about before. Here, I would really encourage you to think about Marcus Garvey as, in some ways, a more radical version of that debate between Washington and Du Bois, where he's kind of like Washington who's been completely radicalized and wants to change the terms of the debate, but is more interested in creating a space where African Americans have pride and where they're autonomous and where they're not in constant dialogue with what's going on with white society. So really important to think about what he's doing. We've included readings by one of his wives who went on and continued to be very, very important in terms of the movement long after Garvey had died. So really pay attention to the role of what are women doing in terms of this debate. Again, Du Bois is often seen as being like the person who wins out in the United States, but really important to remember that people such as Malcolm X, his parents are actually Garveyites. So clearly this is an important strand in U.S. history and U.S. civil rights movements that continues on throughout the 20th century. That's it for your 3-minute rundown. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.